From DS Media Studios in Tema, Ghana, this is Two Pesewas. Two Pesewas is a weekly podcast where we cover a range of topics, from buzzing media headlines to music to highlights from the week. Each episode is co-hosted by myself, Peaches, and Eddie. Hello everyone out there. Hi, Two Pesewas family.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for still listening. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here too.
Yay! And we have a lot of ranting to do today, so I'm just gonna get right into it. But before I do, I have two things to say. One is that today's episode 12, is going to be our penultimate episode. So we're going to end our first season on episode 13 next week.
Yes.
And so after which we'll take a break in between, but don't be too sad.
Okay.
You can use that time to catch up on all the episodes, and we'll be working on some really fun stuff for the next season.
Yes.
Okay. And the second thing, I hate to start on a sad note, but it's one of those days. By the time you get this, when time this reaches you guys, you probably have heard about it. But this morning, we lost one of our brightest stars, our upcoming talents that has really, she just took the landscape by storm. Ebony Rains. She lost her life in a car accident today with two other people, actually.
Yes.
We shouldn't forget about them. And so I just wanted to say a word and send condolences out to her family, because she was very young. Mm-hmm. She's only 20 years old.
Yeah.
So definitely a light snuffed out too soon. And for those who may not know her music, maybe this... it's a way to honor her memory, to go check her out. So she started her breakout song is called Coupe. I think it came out about 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. And then since then, everything she touches turned to magic, to be honest.
She's quite popular, wasn't she?
Very. I mean,
popular.
I think all her videos on YouTube are at over 1 million views.
Just look at that.
So there's Poison came out after that, which was like a mega hit. Hustle, Sponsor, Mommy Shre, Date Your Father. Her catalog was growing. She just released her album, Bonafide, a few weeks ago. And she was actually on her way overseas this morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Belgium or something.
She had a show in Belgium. And so she was really just about to take that momentum much further and much bigger. And honestly, I feel like she could have been huge globally.
I do believe. Yes.
And so it's very, very sad. And I do have a lot more to say about this. And I'm going to save it for next week when I can organize my thoughts a bit better. But we just want to say that we're very sad about that. And we just send out, again, condolences to her family, and just hug your loved ones tight, because you never know.
You never know. Happen. That's what I keep saying. Yeah. So
okay.
Rest in peace.
So, shall we get started?
Okay. So with that in the news, and I'm just going to go off the back of what Peaches just said. You've already heard Ebony, she's passed away. And I'm not even going to tackle road safety and all that, because that's speculation on my part. But the one thing that I do want to tackle is those of you callous ones who share photos of dead people on social media. There is something wrong with you. Do you know how hard it must be for a mother or siblings to wake up in the morning, get up on social media and see a picture of your loved one's corpse? Like, I don't see the rationale behind wanting to share something. I really don't get it.
And I this morning, I was just like, didn't we just go through this with Captain Mahama?
Exactly.
When people crying and resolving, didn't we already do this education, as Kanye likes to say? Don't be so, what kind of voyeuristic?
For me, this is barbaric. It's like you have no soul, you have no empathy.
And
what is your aim?
So you come across an accident and your first inclination
to take pictures.
Apparently, and I'm so glad I haven't seen any of them. And
I happened to see it and I was so annoyed.
Avoid Captain Mahama's as well. Thank God. Because it was almost impossible to do. But it's like they took it's bad enough you take a picture of the car accident. If you want to get the message across that it was terrible, fine.
Don't circulate it.
You have to take a picture not only of the car crash, of her body and everything. Apparently, that's what they did. Took pictures of her body lying on the ground. Why would you do that?
I don't
understand.
Why would you
and then you come and say you're so sad. If you're that
so sad, you wouldn't have shared the pictures in the first place.
How can you dishonor somebody like that? So in their moment of death, just reduce their dignity to nothing. It's really disgusting. And what if her mom, like you said, what if her mom didn't know? That's how she's going to find. Somebody will send it, oh, Charlie, I see, say, and then send you like a bunch of pictures of your dead child. What kind of stupid shit is this? I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I really think this should be a crime, honestly. Anybody who is found sharing these pictures or circulating these pictures should be fined.
If I see you on Facebook, I snitch. I report straight away.
Same here. I already reported somebody on Twitter. I already did it. That's like you cannot be in your right mind and do something. If you're one of those people, you're barbaric, you're callous, you have no heart, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Crass and disgusting.
Yeah, and that's all I have to say. What's this delight in other people's sorrow?
And then come and say, oh, so sad. Can't you get that across without the accompanying imagery? It's really vile.
People are so insensitive.
You do it too much.
And then we see it I've seen on Facebook as well. You see pictures of dead babies. Pray for this one. She has some. Is that necessary? Why do you have to put it up there? If the person has died, okay, the person has died. Do you have to put the picture up there? We get
it. Each of us has faced loss in our own way. We don't need to see a dead body to understand that death is tragic and sad. We don't need it.
I'm just so tired of this. You people should stop. You should know better. We are a nation. We're Christian. Is that the kind of thing a Christian does? It's so appalling. So if you're one of those people, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I think the first
and you should
time
stop.
This started to bother me is when Castro died, because I wasn't here before.
They
were making a mockery. You know, he was called Castro under fire.
People were saying sardine. People were
saying Castro underwater. And
it's not funny.
Someone has drowned. Somebody
it's not funny.
Like I said, gave you so much joy through his music. You finished dancing and stuff like that.
Is that the way to honor him? Is that the way to honor somebody?
I don't understand. And then I'm like, some people you're gonna have to learn the hard way. When it happens to you, then you come on Facebook and say, how can people be so cruel? When it's your loved one who dies and then they come and
do it.
That's when you learn.
It's very, very disrespectful.
Oh,
that's my news. It just makes me so livid. Sorry, but
anyway. So switching gears a bit. So. My headline. So I came across this headline the other day, and I was just like, yeah, all right. So it said Yvonne Nelson, Ochame Kwame, and others to spend 1.9 million cedis on tourism ambassador projects. So I was like, what? So they did a little breakdown. So the first one was, now I have to preface this by saying, okay, I don't care for Yvonne Nelson, but Ochame Kwame, I actually like him quite a bit. I think he's very talented. I love the fact that he embraces Ghanaian culture. I listened to one interview he did. He actually went to Legon and got a master's in Ghanaian language. Just so that when he rapped or sung in Tree, he would be able to really do I thought it was fantastic. Beautiful. And he apparently has this show he does at the National Theatre which combines drama. It's like a musical, I guess, but with his own music in there. Like, really interesting stuff. And he's always wearing African print. Like, he's just cool peeps. I like him a lot. However, so apparently he has been, I guess, tagged to get 600,000 CDs for music and a project to promote cocoa consumption. And because we talked about cocoa last week, I just started laughing. And then another 300,000 CDs for a social media campaign to promote tourism in Ghana. So I'm like, okay. So, first of all, the whole concept of a tourism ambassador, while it's fine, I'm always struck by the people they choose for these things, okay? So apparently they have 30 in total tourism ambassadors this year or 30? Something like that.
That's a lot.
And if you go look at the names, you're like, But first of all, isn't a tourism ambassador somebody who can appeal to people that wouldn't have thought initially of coming to Ghana, but because of you. So
They
we're
want
looking
to,
at people outside the country, aren't we? Like, isn't that generally what the idea is? Like how Rihanna is a tourism ambassador for Barbados
okay.
because she stay at Crop Over. Her whole social media page will want you to go and lie on the beach in Barbados. But she appeals to, obviously, like American, like her international following who would be like, oh, I want to go to Barbados. So you are Chame Kwame, who is popular only in Ghana here. How are you going to appeal to? That's my. How do you appeal to anyone? It's because you're talking to us here.
Right.
So unless it's like maybe a support local tourism initiative.
I was just going to say, are they thinking in the locals? But then that's not really what we're...
And do we need 600,000 CDs for that?
For that, yeah, no, we don't.
To tell me to go to Lumoon? I know. You know what I mean? Like, also, this cocoa thing.
Yeah.
First of all, we talked about how the cocoa, there's a problem with the cacao plants and everything. Now, if you've got 600,000 CDs, wouldn't you go and bolster production or maybe teach the farmers how to produce more?
That's a lot of money.
Is you going to come and tell children, drink the Cadbury's chocolate drink or what? Like, I don't get it.
Probably not well planned or well thought through, you know.
So one of the other projects, apparently Yvonne Nelson wants 100,000 to make 10 videos from each of the 10 regions to promote local... Look,
wait a second. Are we actually just promoting the regions, or do we have things in those regions to promote?
Girl.
We've got to be careful with these things. You just don't...
You let us see the video when it comes out. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I feel like we never choose the appropriate people for the job because we just want to bring our friends and our family in and let them be able to enjoy the chop.
Right.
I mean, frankly, let me tell you, give this a free hint. This is free. And the next one will cost you consulting fees. Okay. Do you know who is a brilliant tourism ambassador for Ghana?
Tell me.
Fuse ODG.
All right. Yeah. That's
First of all, Fuse ODG. He's very well known. He was like on that Azonto thing. He's the one that made Azonto a global phenomenon.
You're right,
okay.
you know.
And he's always promoting Ghana, and he has, his album was called Tina. This is the new Africa. He's always in his African print styling and profiling. I mean, because of Fuse, Ed Sheeran is walking around in this world with a Ghana flag tattooed on his chest. Tell me that's not tourism.
That is tourism.
Ed Sheeran was in Ghana for like a whole month, putting videos on his Instagram of him drinking coconuts, drinking shocker and community. Like, that's tourism ambassador.
Yeah.
People like, what's a shocker? How do I get some? Come to Tema. You're talking about center of the world tower. Monte Carlo is
the place.
Is a point of attraction here. Had him eating at chop bars and stuff, and he has millions and millions of followers. So they were like, what was he doing in Ghana? Where's Ghana? He shot videos here, everything. That's how you pick a tourism ambassador.
And I think Fuse ODG has enough knowledge of Ghana to be able to
exactly, because he's a Ghana boy. He comes here often. He has a home here.
Because I already know people's argument are going to be, but we have Ghanaians who know their country better than somebody who's staying abroad and all that. But then
strategic.
It has to be strategic.
I mean, some of the other names on this list, Andy Dosty. Who the hell is Andy Dosty?
Who's that?
Sam Autry. So I went and looked up Sam Autry. Apparently, Sam Autry is a personality. He's a TV personality in South Korea, of all places.
Okay.
And so he wanted to organize a Ghana Day fair in South Korea. Fair enough. Apparently, he's popular in South Korea. I guess. I don't know. But these local boys and girls here, like, how can you be a tourism ambassador when you're only known in Accra?
But Chame, but is it not known like what? I don't know. Is it not known?
No,
like,
I mean,
not really.
Chame Kwame is not internet. Then make Sarkodie. I think Sarkodie is already. Dede Ayo or something.
Yeah,
the footballers,
like
they are the ones that everybody knows them internationally. Exactly. And they like you. Asamoah Gyan is always dancing. So people would be interested in, be like, oh, I'd like to come visit all those sheikhs he must know from his time. That kind of thing.
True.
You know,
it has to be strategic.
It has to be strategic. You have to have a diverse fan base. Otherwise, what's the point? Even Yvonne Nelson, outside of Gollywood and Nollywood, so is it Nigerians you're trying to encourage to come to Ghana for tourism?
But they already come here, so I don't know.
Thank you. Like, anyway, whatever. Let's. I feel like we need to be more strategic, more critical, more analytical, and then you want me to. That's my 600,000 CDs or my taxes, your taxes, that we're just giving them to promote chocolate.
And they'll probably do the thing
First of all,
once,
the
twice,
chocolate
and then
drink,
that's
do we
it.
even have local companies producing? Cadbury's is not a Ghanaian
We
company.
have, I think we have local company producing.
Is it
them.
Rich Choco?
No, there's another one, I think. Like, they produce pure, like, just this, how do you call it? The dark, bitter.
But chocolate drink, because he said
Chocolate, I don't
promoting
know.
consumption. So mostly we just drink it or we put it in cakes or whatever. Anyway, shout outs to Benji's Hot Chocolate though, by the way.
Don't know.
He launched he was on Dragon's Den or something a couple of years ago trying to get this off the ground, and it's finally launched.
Is it the one he had in the cup? And you
Exactly.
Could just, I saw that one.
Benji, hi Benji boo, that's my boo. Hi Benji. So yeah, things like yes, I can. Yeah, but again. No, Benji did not need Ochami Kwame to come and tell the children. Anyway, whatever, moving on. I'm done with this. I don't get y'all sometimes. I really don't. Okay. So.
All right, so we're on to Song of the Week. And today I have a song from Juls?
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 The producer?
The producer,
Oh,
yeah.
Juls.
So the first song is called Agro, and it features Adekunle Gold and Bisakede.
Oh,
So
do you know, I've not heard that.
That's beautiful.
And I follow him like I'm a stan,
Oh,
actually.
really? So this one is off his EP called Ojeko 2017. It's a really, really pretty, beautiful song.
Oh, I'll go check that out.
Yeah, and the second one is a bit of an older song, and it's called Tif Tif. I'm sure you've heard it. Tif Tif featuring Mr. Easy, Eugene.
Oh,
and
yes.
Sarkodie.
No,
I
that's
love
a
that
good
song.
track. That's
the
a good
song
one.
is so good. At 42 seconds, the beat drops, and you're like, oh my goodness.
No,
this
Jules
such
is a genius.
Yeah,
Shout out to you, Jules. Man. Seriously, shout out to
yeah,
you.
such a beautiful, beautiful tune as well. So those are the two. I'll keep it short. Agro featuring Adekunle Gold and Bisakede, and Tif Tif featuring Mr. Easy, UG, and Sarkodie.
It's a Jules day over
I
here.
know, yeah. I'm a fan actually.
No. And rightly so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have two songs as well. And because Valentine's Day is coming up, I wanted to do
Lovey.
two love songs. Now, the first one is from King Promise.
Oh.
And it's called Selfish. And it was produced by Kill Beats. And shout out to
Hey,
Kill,
Kill
because
Beats.
Kill Beats is now, we have to add Grammy Award-winning Ghanaian producer. Okay, he should be a tourism
Tourism. I was just
ambassador.
going to say, yeah,
Do you get
tourism.
it?
Yeah,
Do you
I
get
mean,
Do you get Are you understanding? So, shout outs to you as well, Kill, and congratulations on that. And so King Promise, I've talked about King Promise on here before
yeah.
because like I'm a super stan. Everything he's put out in the last 2 years or so has been
brilliant.
pure magic. Starting with Double Trouble, then he had Oh Yeah, then he featured on a song with Manifest, which I talked about, Minuwa. And he has a song called Selfish, and it's a huge hit for him at the moment.
Right.
And it's just a beautiful contemporary, I guess we can call this contemporary high life now.
Alright,
Even
okay.
Jules, I feel like
it's high
like
life,
a contemporary high life sound.
Yes.
And it's really refreshing. It's just beautiful. It's mature. It's gorgeous. Play it for your bae. And yeah, so that's the first one. King Promise featuring, well, not featuring anyone, but produced by Kill Beats. Selfish, rather.
Selfish,
And then the second song is by a Kenyan group called Sauti Soul.
Oh, I know.
Do you know
Sauti.
them?
Oh, yeah. I know
Yeah.
Sauti Soul. Yes, I know.
So, and they're very popular as well. They even won an MTV Euro Award as Best African Act. And I don't know when I first heard of them, but I think they have a song called Surayako.
Is it the one I know?
And it's like a party song. It was like a wedding anthem that year, and it was huge. But then they released this song called Kuliko Jana.
Okay.
And it's like a gospel song.
Oh,
and the
nice.
first time I heard it, I cried. I'm not, and if you know me well, you know I'm not religious, but I am spiritual.
Okay.
And I could literally, I didn't know a thing about what they were saying, but I knew immediately that it was a gospel song, and it was so uplifting. And so the group started, they went to an all-boys school together, and they had an a cappella group from the school.
Oh, right.
And then they, were making music after, and then just got big. And so for that song, Kuliko Jana, they went back and got the boys choir from their old school to support.
Clip.
Beautiful. I dare you not to like choke up a bit. Like, it's gorgeous. So anyway, to the song I'm talking about today, after all of that.
Oh, really?
That's not even a song. So they have a song with Pato Ranking. Now, I've also talked about Pato Ranking. He's a Nigerian dancehall artist. Has bare hits. And it's called Melanin. And it is a homage to all the melanin blessed queens out there. The video is
I'm gonna check it out.
The video is gorgeous. They themselves, Sauti Soul, are always serving me open-chested dildos and abs, and I appreciate them for that alone before the vocals even start. But they can sing. So yeah, check those two out for your Valentine's playlist. Melanin, Sauti Soul featuring Pato Rankin, and then King Promise, Selfish.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So in today's What the F, Kempinski Hotel and other Valentine's Day shenanigans.
So, for the first time in 12 episodes, we have chosen the same topic.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lovely one.
My What the F is on the Kempinski, so you go first.
Okay, I'll go, and then we'll be... So, Valentine's Day is almost here, and I saw Kempinski had a Valentine's Shades of Love event or something.
Package.
A package, exactly. So it starts off pretty well. One night, presidential suite, limo, and then it gets to discreet VIP check-in.
Yes.
And I'm asking myself...
For the sugar daddies and the sugar babies, you know it already.
I was just so baffled.
I laughed well.
Like, why is that discreet?
Excuse me, they know their clients, okay? They know, this is what every branding, understand your audience. They know this one, MPs and side chicks are the ones that...
I was just coming to that. So are they trying to promote like side things, or do they just not want people to know that there's some rich guy out there who's willing to spend like 10,000?
Because yes, that's one of the most what the effy parts of this thing. Or the package is $10,000.
10,000, that's 40,000.
So I was like, So I read that. I looked again. I was like, the price of a Corolla. I could buy a Corolla.
I mean, we keep saying not everything's for everyone, but this is like 10,000 for a night. It's like half a day.
Night.
It's a lot, you know. So discreet VIP service, that really got me thinking like, we probably must be promoting something. So I don't and honestly, I don't necessarily know how I feel about Valentine's Day half of the time. I don't know.
I mean,
it's
very
nice.
Commercialized.
Yeah, it's
and
very
commercialized.
It's
some sort of obligatory thing and almost an empty gesture.
Exactly.
Like, here are your flowers and chocolate.
Exactly. The boo's probably going to get chocolate this year. I don't have.
Can y'all send me chocolate? I want chocolate and cupcakes. If you're out there and you enjoy, please.
You can send it to 2 Pesewas, actually, you know.
Yeah, we eat chocolate here. I've been talking about chocolate like for 3 episodes straight, guys. I've dropped.
Did you get the hint?
Oh.
Well, so because a lot of us, or many of you, will not be able to afford this $10,000. And by the way, how many presidential suites are there? Just one?
I think it's 4. I'll get to that.
Okay, all right. So I'm giving you some alternatives. So the alternative, for example, if you're in Accra, go to the Osu night market. Go buy some kinky with your lover. Go chop.
I hear you can even get now banned trophy in there. So
oh really?
Yes.
Oh, see now.
Somewhere deep in.
Another alternative is Netflix and chill, with emphasis on just chilling. Yes. Chilling is like chilling. Although if you don't have unlimited internet,
or you might want subscription.
You might want to skip it. The last time I watched
GTV
anything on Netflix,
and chill. Why?
Exactly, GTV and chill. That's the thing, GTV and chill. Or what I did last year, there's this site called lovebookonline.com. So if you're outside of Ghana, you want to do something special for your
significant other.
Exactly, thank you. You can go to this site and you can create like a book of memories, sort of. So you can create it with yourself. There's like stick figure, sort of. You make it into a book and then they send it to the person.
That's cute.
It's really, really cute. It's really cute. And there's something you can do. And the last thing you can do is just know that Valentine's Day is just really another day. Just sit in your house and just do the things you would normally do. It's not that as much of a big deal, I think. So those are the things you can do.
Okay.
So much for Kempinski $10,000 shenanigans. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So because mine, yes, like I said, mine was I picked that as my what the F as well, because the first thing that hit me dead in the chest was the $10,000 price. I mean, like I said, a Corolla, a gently used Corolla.
Like, why?
For one night. Okay. So then I went down the list of services as well. It was like, okay, you get a bottle of Armand de Brignac champagne, 5-course meal, limousine service,
Yeah.
a helicopter ride,
Oh, wow.
chocolates, a butler, a spa treat, and everything. So I was like, okay. Let's run these numbers. I like that. I like to run the numbers.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Armand de Brignac is $300. So let's say hotel in Piat. So I said, okay, 500. I've put 500.
Okay,
5-course meal. Now their buffet is 100 and something CDs.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay. So maybe a 5-course meal. I've put $100 here. That's 450
yeah.
CDs. That should cover 5 courses.
Okay, so we have
So I'm like,
1,000,
okay,
right?
no, 500 CDs though, so $100.
Oh, okay.
So we're at $600. Limo. I'm like, okay, $200. They're just picking you up from
From
actually, my cousin-in-law is where from. If I say I live in Kaswa, will they come there and get me?
Well, the $10,000, they're gonna have
Well,
to.
if I say I'm in the north, you better drive the limo there and come for me. Yeah. So I was like, okay, car rentals start at maybe, let's say, 200 CDs.
CDs, yeah.
It's a limo, so I'm putting $200 there,
Okay.
which is like almost 800 CDs, almost 1,000 CDs. That should definitely cover it. All right. Helicopter ride. Now, I know for a fact that in the States, helicopter rides are $100 an hour.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, maybe because it's Ghana, they'll say that the helicopter, blah, blah, blah. So I've put $500 there. That should cover it
Yeah.
and then some.
Right.
Even if you say fuel, whatever. Chocolate. Which chocolate? Okay, so I went and looked, Godiva.com. Their sexiest box on there was $46. So
Yeah,
I
I
put
checked
50.
them recently as well. I was on the site. Yeah.
Hey, sending chocolates for Bay.
Charlie, good for you. You saw the love in it.
Dedicated butler. I don't know what he's gonna do. He'll be sitting at front desk and until you call him. All he'll say is he'll just come a bit faster. Like these people. So I was like, okay, you want to scam people with that one. I've put $100 there. Then spa treatment. I don't spa to the packages, but I put $100. It should cover it. So
Oh my God.
we all within all this, we only got to $1,500. So I was like, okay, so the rest of the $8,000, where is it?
Overcharged.
So I was like, oh, could it be the
Overpriced.
room? So I was like, oh, but can the room cost? I took myself to KempinskiAccraGold.com
Exactly.
and looked at their executive suite.
Right.
The presidential, it costs $9,800 US.
What?
So brothers and sisters, my message for you today is that package here is actually a bargain,
Wow.
It's actually a bargain deal. That's why they've said put it out there with full confidence. I was like, so the next room on there, which is an executive suite, is, let me check here. I wrote it down. It's $850 or whatever. So how do you go from $850 to $9,000?
But why?
And
So
$800. So call it $10,000.
Jeez.
The room alone for one night is $10,000. So you're basically getting $1,500 worth of freebies. So I guess if you don't want a Corolla or whatever, go and have dinner. Shoot.
That's a lot, though.
But it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And I think generally hotel prices in Ghana are pretty high.
No, because comparatively, Kempinski, I should have looked.
Yeah.
Kempinski somewhere else and see what they charge for. And I'm sure it's usually executive presidential king suites is $1,200, $1,300 a night, and you're still like nonsense. And $10,000.
Oh, this is crazy.
I better not hear any president actually sleeping there.
Oh,
I
I'm sure
will. I'll
they do.
protest in front of the
I'm sure they
place.
do. I'm sure they
Because
do. I
that's
wouldn't be
somebody's
surprised.
taxes. That's rubbish. I'm sorry. Anyway, so that's my little what the F edition. Ghana is an expensive place. Ghana
It's
is
really
when they keep talking about third world poverty, blah, blah, blah. Look, maybe that's part of the reason why we're poor. The same thing that is half the price somewhere else is 3 times.
I know, it's
3 times the cost here.
the fact that you could get things here get something outside the country cheaper than here. It doesn't
Like
make
by
sense.
2 times, a factor of 2 or something. Not even a little bit, a lot.
I said the other day I was going to buy some vegetables. I think it was cauliflower. Usually I buy them.
You won't buy kontomire
Charlie.
and just...
We have kontomire at home, so that one day I just cut it. So I was going to buy some cauliflower, and Usually I buy for about 5 CDs. A small pack, 5 CDs, which is okay. I went back and then the lady said it was 15 CDs. And I said, oh, why has the price just gone up so suddenly? She said, they air freighted it. They air freighted it. So I said, you know what, let me go put this thing down. I'm not about to pay 3 times as much. I think I'll probably eat it twice and then that's it. So I said, you know what?
We're really struggling out here just to get little things to do, little ways to treat ourselves.
Yes, it's not right.
Cost a damn fortune. So yeah, Usu night market it is.
Charlie. One half. I know Tito was going crazy, wasn't it? It was so funny. It was so funny. All right. So on to 2 Pesewas. So in today's 2 Pesewas, I actually have 5 tips for you that may make your 2018 a bit better.
Ooh.
So you can either
Life Coach Eddie.
Oh, please. You can either take all of these on board or just one on board, whatever floats your boat. So the first tip I have is read 1 new book every month. I've decided that this year I'll try and read 2 books every month. If you can just read 1 book, 1 new book, just do that. It will help your brain, massage your brain a bit. And the last book I read was Do the Work by Stephen Pressfield. A really, really good book. If you can get your hands on it, do so. Tip number 2, if you work at least twice a week, take a packed lunch to work. The money that you would have saved, from this, put it away, put it in an envelope, put it in a box or something. At the end of the year, go count that money and realize how much you would have saved. It really is a lot. Tip number 3, if you know somebody who's troubled or depressed, just reach out to them. Yeah. People are alone with their thoughts and their issues. They might not tell you, but you have a feeling that this person is okay. Are you okay? What can I do for you? Can I just listen to you? Sometimes even just listening to somebody is not about here's money or here's a gift. Just listening. Tip number 4. So what I do, or what I try to do, let me say, is make a mental note of all the things I'll do the following day. Sometimes I write them down, but most of the times they're in my head. And the following morning, I might write them down. So that's something that will help you not to plan your day and not waste too much time. A lot of the times we end up being distracted. I sometimes end up being distracted by YouTube videos, all this random. The other day I was watching male order brides and random things.
They always say, "How did I get to the dark side of YouTube?" Because you just that side and you click and click and you end up somewhere. You're like, "Whoa, where are we now?" And then the time
is gone, and you're like, "Oh my God, I've wasted so much time." And tip number 5 is simple. Say thank you.
Aww.
Simple. Thank you. Akwe, opino, oyiwadon, medase, whatever language you do. Just say thank you. It won't take away from anything. It won't make you any less smart than you are or whatever. Just say thank you. And that's my 2 Pesewas.
Wonderful. See, every time this is why Eddie is critical to this, because she'll give these really mature,
come on,
thoughtful
I'm an old woman,
and I'm like, my 2 Pesewas on Stuntin for the ground.
But you need that good mix though. You can't just have serious stuff all the time, So I actually quite like that.
Okay, so anyway.
Let's go.
Stuntin for the gram. Or any social media, like just, faking it for social media.
And people be lying, no shade.
So, about 2 days ago, I innocently log into my Twitter and it is ablaze. Why? So there are these 2 kids, and it turns out they're kids, actually. Right. They're called the Khan twins. And they have maybe 300K followers or something, and they keep posting pictures of them with, all serving cheekbones and green eyes and all this, and had all the little girls going crazy, and are these, there was even a whole article, are these the most gorgeous men on earth, on and on and on. I didn't know them because I think that's like the youth segment of Instagram or whatever. But I think I had even seen one of the pictures that had gone around or whatever it is. So it turns out that after all that, because they are now, Insta famous and whatever, they got invited to an interview.
Okay.
And girl, so
tell me what happened.
They get to this interview and we find the level of catfishing. Just that they had photoshopped themselves into different human beings. We're like, who's that? Who? And so they put the side-by-side pictures, the pictures from their Instagram, compared to the pictures from this YouTube interview, and they went
difference, huh? Jeez.
I was like, I mean, to the point where I was like, are you sure it's the same people? Like, I mean, you know how the internet can get things wrong. I was like, are you guys sure it's them? They're like, it's them. They're like, it cannot be. Witchcraft. Devilry. And so other people were like, hey, but all jokes aside, what app do they use? Because I need to go and download it and start my career on
this
Instagram.
Is so wrong.
No. And I was like, the likes. So when they were doing all this catfishing and then somebody now invites you to a different...
Why did they go?
Why did they go?
Why did they go? That's what I don't get.
Why
did they go?
Like, they photoshopped that. They photoshopped different hairstyles on themselves.
This is so wrong.
Like, they made themselves Zayn Malik. Meanwhile...
Meanwhile, Gollum.
No, somebody did actually say serving Lord of the Rings, giving me Gollum right now. They look like demons. They look like White Walkers.
But seriously, a lot of people are doing these things out there. Putting out things that are not true.
This is just an example. Whether it is you Photoshop a whole different body and face. And then when they asked you to come from behind that, we were like, oh, is this you or your cousin or who? You don't even... Somebody who, like, her own relative, which like, she doesn't know. She knew her when she was a kid. And then after many, many years, the girl came to visit or whatever. So she had been following her on Insta. Right. And she was like, she went to pick her up at the airport. And the girl came up to her and was like, oh, I think you're here to pick me up. She's like, no, I don't know you. And then the girl circled and came back and was like, no, it's me. And she's like, huh? Because the girl had been catfishing for years.
The likes. All for the likes.
I say this because we are approaching Valentine's Day. And this is usually a peak time for online fakery.
Yeah.
Whether you go and steal pictures of somebody's lunch and dinner, or they have these pictures where it's just hands. You know, they just hands. And meanwhile, it's the hands of somebody you've never even... You stole somebody's hands off the... My point is, people know you in real life. They know that's your account. And they know that, you know, when you post a picture with your hands on the steering wheel of a Mercedes, we know that you sat in your uncle's car and took the picture and they sacked you from the car even. They're like, hey, why are you sitting on it? Get out. I told you to wash the car. So just relax. It's not... Who are you doing it
People
for?
want to be famous. People just want to be famous.
For
strangers.
Do anything. You want the validation of strangers. And that is a serious problem.
It's an illness.
It is okay to be... I know that the media and all this bombardment and whatever has you convinced that it's not okay to be who you are. But it really is. If you don't have it, that's okay. Just work at getting something. Be comfortable. We aren't all going to be able to be Drake. And we aren't going to all look like Rihanna or Beyonce or whatever it is. It's fine. Just work what you have. And you do that in real life anyway. So because there's no other way there's no way around it.
Exactly.
So don't make your social media page, which is supposed to be an extension of yourself, rather some fantasy land where you live your best life. I mean, you'll get lost in that.
Then you can't turn back. If you're so used to it, then now what?
And then your own reality will be a source of depression. You don't want to get lost in that cycle. And like, trust me, I know. Because people are really fawning in oh my God, your goals and
And besides, some of the people you're trying to emulate, they have issues by them on their own, you know.
Issues, because they're also sat online looking at someone's life, and it's just a vicious cycle of fakery, really.
Yep.
So I guess my message today is just be who you are, own what you have, and the celebrities do it too. Bow Wow. They keep dragging him every day.
He's suffering so much.
For, flossing with empty champagne bottle. They're like, you went and picked somebody's empty bottle off their table and you're like, balling. Or pretending to be flying private. And then they snap a picture of you in economy class somewhere.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with flying economy. But why do you have to portray that?
You'll get there too. You'll get to the same place at the same time as the first class citizens. In fact, if you like, go by there and laugh. Haha, because I just saved $3,000 and I'm here at the same time as you. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really...
not that serious.
And I know it's, as my cousin told me, you don't talk about things in a void as though you don't know why this phenomenon exists. I get it. I get it. It's programming. It's
Pressure.
Yes, you know, this sort of aspirational whatever. Everybody wants
The goals. It's always goals. This goals.
But it is a depressing thing to get caught up in, and you're not doing yourself any favors. You're only causing yourself harm. You'll never be able to outdo your own self once you get started on this path.
Yes.
And so just don't. Just be you. Be you. It's okay. Try. Just try. And start with Valentine's Day. My friend, if you're not at the Kempinski don't go even drive by the Kempinski, and so you can use your location,
You know,
Kempinski,
like, it's not
on your
necessary.
Instagram page on the way back to your house.
It's not necessary.
Or
What are you trying to impress?
It's they don't care, really. At the end of the day, if you needed $10, they wouldn't give you. So don't try and live your life for them.
Yeah.
And that's my rambling,
That's a beautiful one.
non-specific.
No, that's a good. Be yourself.
Pesewas, be you. Be you. Embrace who you are.
Yeah.
And wean yourself. And you talked about this. Don't get too addicted to social media in the first place. Because that's how these things happen. Log off. Log off.
Oh, really? Once a while, log off. Turn off all your gadgets.
And understand that the people you're aspiring to be like are probably faking too.
That's the thing. So just continuing the fakery.
Exactly. And making yourself depressed on top. Go eat some wache and chill, Charlie.
Wache is life. And kenke too. Yeah, so.
And get you some chocolate, man.
Yeah, chocolate. You see, Peaches is talking about chocolate. Yeah. So.
And tell Ochame Kwame he didn't bother get that 600,000 because you're already drinking the chocolate, so it's okay.
It's okay.
All right, so that's it. I'm done.
Cool. So I have a shout out today.
Good.
My shout out is to the Osei family. I know this weekend has been really tough for you, but we are thinking of you, and I'm sure things will get better. So to Tante Gloria, Lotte, Olivia, Jenny, Carol, and Kofi, I hope things get better with time. So that's your shout out.
Beautiful. Condolences to the
Yes.
family.
Okay.
So I have 2 shout outs as well. The first one goes out to my dear friend Jacinta, aka Chiquita Banana. That's my boo-boo. Hi, Jessie. Who binge listened to about 5 episodes and called me from America just to say how much she loves the show.
Oh, lovely.
And
Thank
how
you.
proud she is of me and you. So thank you so much. You're a beautiful person. I miss you all the time. And yeah. And my second shout out goes to Jen. Jen was my college roommate for all 4 years except one. And that 1 year, we were very dramatic about it, crying and things. Because she had to go study abroad. Right. And so I had to find different housing arrangements. Okay. And we really were very dramatic about it. So, and she's been a lifelong true friend.
Beautiful.
My token white person in my life. No, I'm just joking. So, and she's a regular listener, along with my lovely niece, Evelyn, who gets to listen to Auntie Fee on the radio.
Nice.
So-called radio. So anyway, this is to you, Jen and Evie and Gabe. Love you guys.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening as well. And that's it.
Okay.
So we'll see you next week with the closing episode for this season. Are we going to have to do something? Please, don't be expecting anything magical over here.
We should be singing. My sister said we should sing in a cappella. I think we should do that next week.
We'll do a song. Should we do a song next week?
Yeah, we could, actually.
Ooh, okay, we're coming through. We'll do a medley. Let me not. I said medley. We'll try and do something for you.
Exactly. All right, then.
All right, bye.
If you enjoyed the episode and you're listening to us on any of our platforms, please give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, and we'd also love for you to share this episode with your friends. Let's continue the conversation. We'd like to hear your feedback. Information on how to reach us on our website can be found in the description.